Hi, welcome to 4 Minutes of Film with me, Rhianna. So the really big thing for me this week was meeting Dwayne Johnson. So we're going to play out a massive chunk of that interview and whip through the reviews. So first up is House of Magic.
What shall we call you? Oh, that's it! Thunder! This is your new family!
It's a very pretty animation about an abandoned cat in a magician's house. It gets really repetitive and it's for very, very young children. So 2 stars. Next up, it's The Purge Anarchy. The concept of The Purge is that for one night a year in America, all crime is legal, including murder, and these 3 are trying to make it through the night.
We're going to have people in front of us and we're going to have people behind us. As long as we move, we'll be fine. We're going to cross banks.
No, that's a long way. It's going to be much quicker if we go down here.
I love that it got a bit political and looked into the rich-poor divide. It's jumpy, it's not too scary, it's a bit like a way more sinister Hunger Games, and I way preferred it to the first film. So 4 stars for The Purge Anarchy. Next up is Earth to Echo. This is a sci-fi adventure, maybe similar to E.T. or even Super 8, about a group of teenagers who, over 12 hours, find an injured alien and then have to try and get him home.
That is so crazy.
I didn't have massively high hopes for this film, but it's actually really engaging, and it's more about friendship and loyalty than it is about the aliens. Echo, the alien, is really, really cute, and I'd have loved to have seen more of what he could do. What we did see, though, was really cool, so 4 stars. And next up, finally, it's Dwayne Johnson. Everyone seems to love this guy, and having met him, I'm no different. He started off as The Rock in wrestling, and then he went to Hollywood, and he was in the Fast and Furious films, G.I. Joe, and of course, The Tooth Fairy. His latest film is Hercules, and guess what? He plays Hercules. Dwayne Johnson, really lovely to meet you.
It's good to meet you.
If somebody asked you to kind of do a Robert De Niro and gain loads of weight for a role, which would mean that you wouldn't be able to build up your muscle so much, would you do it?
Oh, I'd do it in a second.
Would you?
It would mean that the role is a really meaty, cool role. So if that ever came my way and a role required me to gain a whole bunch of weight or not train or lose a whole bunch of weight, I would do it, but I would also make sure that I was surrounded by professionals who I would lose or gain the weight in a healthy way.
Right. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I spoke to James McAvoy about when he was doing like an ensemble film like X-Men, and they all used to go out drinking on sets they were so far away from home.
That's because James is crazy.
Yeah, he is
James
crazy.
Is crazy. Yeah.
But I guess none of you could do that because you were also aware of, you know, your bodies in this film. So what did you do to bond off set?
Hercules was a very hard movie to shoot. The reason why I'm saying that is that by the time Friday night, Saturday morning rolled around when we wrapped, my version of having a good time was in my hotel room with my laptop on my lap and the TV on and a glass of tequila, and that's all I needed.
And finally, I just want to know about, you've got so many different fans from so many kind of walks of life, your past career. So when one comes up to you, do you know immediately if they're a fan of your wrestling or films, or how do they differentiate?
Oh, what a great question. No, I don't know immediately. It's great when I meet a fan who'll come up and then he'll just start screaming my catchphrases from my wrestling days. Or they'll start screaming a catchphrase from a movie. Or a family will come up and there'll be a 3 or 4-year-old who will look at me and say, "Where are your wings? The Tooth Fairy, where are your wings?" Yeah, and it grabs me by the throat. It's so beautiful. And I would say, "Oh, they're in my closet."
Doesn't take a vision to know what's waiting for us up there.
The battle scenes in Hercules are epic and as realistic as they could possibly be, and the overwhelmingly brilliant thing about it is that it's under 100 minutes. If only more blockbusters could be like that. Dwayne Johnson is exactly as you'd expect him to be. He's glistening, he's muscly, quite toothy, maybe a bit one-dimensional, but you know, what else do you want from Hercules? It's not the most stirring action film, but it's very, very watchable. So 3 stars. Next week, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'll be interviewing Zoe Saldana, Chris Pratt, Karen Gillan, and The Rock's nemesis, Vin Diesel. You'll find out who is the most fun because that's the interview that we'll use next week. Click here to subscribe and catch that then.